Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, The Real Super Sam. Today is an awesome top 5 best stories list for hashtag Spider-Man Sunday and I hope you enjoy. The first Green Goblin is Peter Parker's greatest enemy, and one of those reasons is his messed up relationship with his son, / Peter's best friend, Harry. After Norman Osborn apparently gets killed by Spider-Man, Harry becomes insane, driven for revenge, and becomes the second Green Goblin. The relationship between Harry and Peter is more interesting and important than the one Peter has with Norman, at least when it comes to the good old days. Because of that, I like the second Green Goblin more than the first one. For me, these two have better stories together than are more important to Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and with Harry and his Osborn Goblin legacy going after Spider-Man, it makes the stories much more intense. And because of that, Harry has become at least as good as a Goblin as all the others, leading to these top 5 best stories of the second Green Goblin. Number 5. The Goblin War. The Amazing Spider-Man issue 312 is the iconic issue where Green Goblin fights the Hobgoblin. After his son was tormented by the Hobgoblin earlier, this causes Harry Osborn to break and remember his past memories as the Green Goblin, giving him the will to put on the costume he has hidden and face Hobgoblin. Harry lied to Hobgoblin to keep his family safe a little longer, but now at the Osborn chemical plant, the Hobgoblin is looking for more of Norman's old Goblin notes, and the second Green Goblin comes in to stop Hobgoblin once and for all, leading to a Goblin vs. Goblin fight with Spidey stuck in the middle. At the end, Spider-Man questions Harry about him being a hero and doing the right thing, even as the Goblin, but Harry refuses the thought and walks away. This issue had the Hobgoblin in it, being as he's my second favorite Spider-Man villain, I enjoyed it, and this issue had the first and biggest step to Harry becoming a hero. Number 4. The Child Within. This story is very underrated, and Spectacular Spider-Man issues 180 through 183. Harry Osborn is back to being the Green Goblin because he has visions of his father and best friend both arguing with each other over Harry, becoming more unhinged than ever before. The haunts disappear and Harry angrily rips his family album apart. The Goblin decides that it will be no longer a battle between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. Removing both their masks, Harry intends this to be a battle between a Parker and an Osborn. While fighting, Harry demands to know why Peter constantly reminds him of the crimes that his father committed as the Green Goblin. Becoming more and more crazy, Harry claims that his father was not a bad man. Although he admits that his father was responsible for the death of Gwen Stacy, he insists that it must have been some kind of accident. There's no helping Harry as Spider-Man anymore, and the two have to face each other in their biggest battle at the time. The complication with Peter fighting the Green Goblin is shown here. Should he fight his best friend like the other villains? And Harry himself struggles with those choices too. How could he kill a man who has helped him so much? This story turns Harry Osborn into a tragic villain, but also one that makes a long-term impact and enters the upper levels of Spidey foes. This isn't a story where the villain is the Green Goblin and the masks and toys are in first front, but a mad friend, Harry Osborn, fighting his nicest friend ever, Peter Parker. This is one of the greatest Spidey Green Goblin stories, and being a semi-follow-up to Kraven's Last Hunt, it's one of the greatest Spidey stories ever told. Number 3. The Green Goblin lives again. The Green Goblin Strikes. Green Goblin's first appearance was in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 136 and 137. This story was the second Green Goblin, almost came right after the first one died, putting the past in the past and this new faux relationship in the present. Peter and MJ are coming back to his apartment after their date, but when they turn the lock, Peter's spider sense explodes, and so does his apartment. Someone tried to kill him, and left Mary Jane injured at his apartment destroyed. Peter Parker decides to stake out one of the Green Goblin's old hideouts since he has a suspicion that Harry has turned into his father, and he was right. They fight, and Harry surprisingly is almost the victor, about to kill Spider-Man except his finger blasts run out of juice, making him have to face Spider-Man again. Easily one of my favorite Green Goblin stories, this second Green Goblin making his first appearance has Harry seem insane beyond help, and that made him more ruthless. The fights between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin are something else in this story. Harry is completely different here, with no resemblance of the past friendship in sight when he first becomes the Green Goblin in this story. Green Goblin 2 uses so many different and new fighting tricks, and Spidey himself has to use new techniques against Harry just to stay alive. The thing with this story, it was like all the previous Green Goblin stories where Spider-Man has to stop him, but Osborn also has the knowledge that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Having that in Goblin's favor makes him too dangerous for Spidey to stop, just like any other enemy. There's a moment at the end when Harry says he knows the identity of Spider-Man, that it's Peter Parker, but then gets carted away, having no one believe him, and leaving Peter to cling on to their lifelong friendship alone. What a return of the Green Goblin persona in the comic books this story was. It had past history, drama, cliffhangers to tragedies, a perfect Green Goblin story just with Harry Osborn under the mask. Number 2, The Osborn Legacy. This story is a one-shot published in the Spectacular Spider-Man issue 189. Peter Parker has gotten a mysterious Jack-in-the-Box passed to him from Aunt May, and he opens it up to reveal a Green Goblin mask replica with the words, "Gotcha." This makes it official. Harry Osborn is back to being the Green Goblin. Harry is on one of his most crazy adventures yet. He has kidnapped his family, his wife Lizelle and his son Normie, and his stepbrother, the reformed villain Molten Man. He has done this to keep the Osborn family alive. He pretends that he has the perfect family right here, and if anyone's out of line, he hurts them. All he wants is the perfect family he never had, and will do anything to keep it this way. Like when Molten Man tries to stop him, he beats him up and says he's betrayed the family. This comic reveals the deep inner thoughts that Harry Osborn has, thoughts that make him return to ultimately being the Green Goblin again, and it shows his hate for his father and how much it pains him that he is becoming just like him. Harry gets personal with Peter Parker, or at least Spider-Man. He comes up with these crazy ideas of why Spider-Man hates him, and then ticks Spidey off. In this issue, Harry Osborn becomes the Green Goblin, just the type of goblin his father was. In the end, he overcomes his fears and even bests Spider-Man at moments. Spider-Man also has a great victory moment, overcoming everything Harry Osborn has tormented him with and said it to him over this issue. The last page is something special as well, echoing the constant deadly threat of the Green Goblin Peter Parker will always have to deal with. This and the number 1 story on this list feel like Peter Parker versus his sick best friend Harry Osborn stories more than something silly looking and quote-unquote for kids. This tale's quiet moments are more entertaining when there's no action and there's hard to pull off, but these last stories did it to a T. The quiet moments are much more entertaining than usual. That was when all the shocks happened. Number 1, Best of Enemies. The greatest Harry Osborn Goblin story, one of Spider-Man's greatest stories ever, The Spectacular Spider-Man issue 200, The Death of Harry Osborn. This outstanding story opens up with Harry Osborn back as the second Green Goblin, kidnapping Mary Jane and taking her to the George Washington Bridge. Harry explains that regardless of what happens, his feud with Peter will never come to another situation like the death of Gwen Stacy. Mary Jane is actually touched by this. When she mentions Harry's father again, Harry snaps at her once more. Getting back on subject, Harry assures her that no matter what happens, she will be safe. Now, in the coming days, Harry goes around Peter's life and Peter Parker himself, torturing him, always scaring him that he may attack Peter and kill him that day, or he will reveal his identity to the world, and Peter can't do anything to fight back or his secret identity would get revealed. Sure, Spider-Man does get fed up with it and starts to fight back, but he knows he can't really win against the Green Goblin. He never could, since then Osborn would reveal his true identity and his superhero life would be over. The past being brought up again is what really makes this issue number 1. Everything with Harry and his horrible father, him being the Green Goblin, and his whole friendship with Peter Parker, all how now it will all come to a star-striking end. In the end, Harry and Peter are tired of all this rivalry, and Harry decides to blow himself up in the new Osborn Foundation he has been making a big deal about, but Mary Jane is in the building and leaves to rescue her. And shockingly, Harry even comes back to save his best friend, the Green Goblin's greatest enemy, Spider-Man. Doing that kills him, with Peter and Harry side by side on his deathbed as best friends again. Yep, this is one of the best Spider-Man stories ever, and definitely had the best interactions between Spider-Man and the second Green Goblin. I hope this video helped explain and show you guys why I like Harry Osborn Green Goblin stories more than Norman's. He's just more crazy and has more interesting interactions with the characters than Norman, and better stories and it better shows the complex history between Peter Parker and the Osborns that makes the Green Goblin Peter Parker's greatest enemy. This was my very first top 5 stories list on my channel for the 2020s. Thank you all for watching, and please comment your thoughts down below. Before I close this off, the next few top 5 stories lists won't be from Spidey's Rogues Gallery, but other superheroes who I haven't looked at much before. For example, a list on Metallo and Wizard, and in the near future, Dr. Doom, so some specific lists to look forward to. Please remember to like the video, it helps out a lot, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.